Let's see, about 15, 20 minutes. So stay tuned to Miller on Sports. Chris Milo will join me in studio. We do it every Wednesday at 5:20. Last week it was changed up just a little bit, but you can always mark it on your calendars. Wednesdays at 5:20. We talk to the Executive Director of Sports and Entertainment for your city of Jacksonville, Florida. He is Alan Verlander, and make sure you follow him on Twitter. It's at Alan Verlander. It's ALAN. He is Alan Verlander. How you doing, Alan?
I am good. How's your week been?
Oh, week has been good. A little rainy, but I'd say all in all pretty solid. How about you?
It's been good. I actually went out to the Suns game last night and hung out with Pedro and got a rain shower about 7 o'clock. It may happen again tonight, but it was fun. Yeah, you got to always love watching a little baseball, and if you can't relax at a baseball game, it's hard to relax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something wrong with you if you can't relax watching baseball. Now, answer me this, Alan. When you go to a game, do you prefer peanuts or Cracker Jacks?
Ooh, you know what? How about both?
Alan, that is why we get along. See, you eat shrimp and grits for lunch, and you get both peanuts and Cracker Jacks. You are a good man. You are a Southern man is what you are.
You know, it's like peanut butter and jelly. You know, I mean, it's peas and carrots. You got to eat stuff together. I'm not one of those segmented people.
I like it. So I talked to Steve Colby in hour number 1. How are the Suns looking to you?
You know, they're playing really, really well. I mean, they are really they just took the lead last night. You know, I really like the home stretch. Now, it's funny, they end the season on a 10-game road streak, or a 10-game road trip. So, you know, they probably we all know how road trips go. I mean, they can be a grind, especially in baseball. So, they probably need to get on that bus headed towards the road trip. You know, I feel comfortable with about a 4-game cushion heading into in the second half. But I think they put together a nice club, and, you know, Pedro and the boys always just do a great job out there.
They definitely do. On the topic of baseball, is there any work being done right now to get more baseball on the First Coast?
You know, there really is. You know, from a couple fronts. One, you know, we're trying to really would love to bring a major league spring training game here. Those games are so hard, but we're trying to use all of our contacts that we can. When I was up in Atlanta this past weekend, you know, I met with some of the people in the Braves organization, and so we're really trying to do that. But I tell you, one of the things we're also really looking at hard in trying to work with a lot of the youth associations here, youth baseball, you know, everybody thinks about these huge sports that we're trying to get, but youth sports is where it's at. That's where a lot of economic growth comes from. And more importantly, when you bring in these huge events, they're a blip on the map, but there's no sustainability from them. And a youth sports program, and we have programs, but I mean tournaments and big tournaments that other cities are doing and making a lot of money, is a sustainability for the city. So we're looking at those aspects of it too.
So are we talking on the level of Little League World Series or maybe like Babe Ruth?
You know, probably, but they play, you know, travel baseball now is just enormous. And you've got kids that go all over the country and play, and their parents spend a lot of money. And so we're beginning to make some inroads, and we're beginning to make some plans to do some big things in Jacksonville with Little League baseball and soccer. We're bringing a big youth soccer tournament at the end of this month here to Jacksonville that's going to bring about 5,000 people that, you know, well, really it's going to bring about 10,000 people, 5,000 room nights. And so if you start doing these youth sporting events and do them right, it can be a major economic driver for the city.
Alan, where's that going to be held?
Well, we're gonna have to, with that many people, we're gonna have to use a lot of fields. But it's you know, Jacksonville Youth Soccer Club's putting it together, and at Rogers and a bunch of different city fields that we run, and we'll be playing it all over. And I think it'll be the first of many great youth events here on the First Coast.
Excellent. Alan Verlander joining us like he does every Wednesday at 5:20. Make sure you find him on Twitter. It's Alan Verlander. He is the Executive Director of Sports and Entertainment. Alan, I heard through the grapevine that Jacksonville might try and snag the College World Series away from Omaha. Is there any truth to that?
Oh, Richard, I would love to. I mean, being a former college baseball player and just a baseball aficionado. I would love to. I just think that's going to be very hard. They built a brand new stadium in Omaha for that event. The NCAA is really tied at the hip there. We would have to have a stadium of 40,000 plus. I think we're way behind the eight ball on that. Not necessarily with the relationships that we need to have, but with facility and just the fact that it works so well in Omaha. And when you think of college baseball, the first thing that mostly pops out of people's mind is Omaha. And so the NCAA knows they have a brand there. And I would love to snag it here, but I just think that's going to be difficult.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I thought I would ask because I know there are a lot of baseball fans, college and pro, right here on the First Coast. Alan, you and I both know from 2005 to 2008, the baseball grounds hosted the ACC baseball tournament. Do you think that would ever return, or maybe some tournament similar to that?
Yeah, no, I do think that's something that we can go after. ACC, they left us and went to a bunch of places and has found their home in Greensboro, which, is the home of the ACC offices there. And so if you look at the SEC, it's in Birmingham where the SEC offices are. But, I think in the next couple of years that bid comes up. I do think, again, it comes down to dollars. And we did a great job as the city of Jacksonville hosting that tournament a few years back. And so the ACC knows that. I think it's just going to be a relationship deal and putting a great bid together and hopefully trying to woo them back here to the First Coast.
He is Alan Verlander joining Miller on Sports. You can listen online to the conversation. Check it out, 1600thebeach.com. It's also AM 1600 on your radio dial. Alan, yesterday, I'm sure you saw it, Alabama.com reporting that 10 cities received bids for the Champions Bowl, matching up the SEC and the Big 12, Jacksonville being named as one of them. Alabama.com and also ESPN, they reported that those cities received requests for proposal. Bids are due August 22nd. Will Jacksonville turn something in within 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, Rick Catlin and I have met a couple of times in the last couple of days, and we're going to go at this. We'll go at it hard. It's going to be it'll be a tough challenge, but we're trying to pull all the things together. Rick has really taken the lead on it because the commissioners, especially Mike Slive at the SEC. I've got a good relationship with Mike, but Rick's got a great relationship with Mike, so. Rick's kind of taking the point on this, but yeah, I mean, we were fortunate that we were one of 10 cities to receive the bid, and we're going to try to put our best foot forward to try to land that game on the First Coast. It's going to be a dogfight, but you know me. I mean, we're going to try to do our best to at least make them think about Jacksonville.
Definitely. And I know we've talked about it before. Is this kind of similar with the semifinal in the national championship game, maybe being down at Everbank Field in Jacksonville, where you might not get it the first year, but you want to try and get it, say, within 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, we certainly know Dallas has a phenomenal stadium, and you've got the traditions of New Orleans and the Orange Bowl and the Rose Bowl and the Fiesta. But, past that, and really the Fiesta, I mean, they do have a great stadium in Glendale. But, past that, then I think it's really an open ball game. And certainly Atlanta's got, a nice opportunity. But I think Jacksonville, with our weather and with all the amenities we can bring to this for fans, and we've hosted a Super Bowl before, I really like our chances. And the conversations that I've had with the people at the BCS, maybe it's like Prince, formerly known as the BCS, and I know the conversations Rick has had. Jacksonville is in the conversations, and people that are making the decisions know exactly who we are, and that's what we want to make sure stays that way.
Very interesting. Alan, what's the overall outside opinion of Everbank Field?
Everybody thinks it's a great stadium. I mean, it's amazing. When I traveled to Omaha for the swimming trials, or when I went to AD meetings, and have gone all over the country. People really think Everbank is a really state-of-the-art stadium. And so we've got to play off of that, and we're very fortunate to have it.
It's always a lot of fun. He is Jacksonville's Executive Director of Sports and Entertainment. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. It's at Alan Verlander, ALAN Verlander. Find him there in the Twitterverse. He joins us every Wednesday at 5:20. Alan, it's always a lot of fun, always a pleasure. Don't work too hard, and we'll talk again real soon.
Sounds real good, Richter. I love your show, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate it. There he goes.